Let's check in with the doc and look at things with a wider lens. Pastor Richards on OMG.
All right, we got Pastor on the line with us. Hello, good morning, Pastor.
Good morning, Daniel. How are you?
I am well. It's not a day off, you know.
What are you talking about, Daniel? I used to sit down here. I said, boy, that goat bite me.
Maybe.
You know that expression, right?
Maybe. Of course.
Goat bite me. I mean,
Goat or dog?
Dog. No, goat. They say, well, goat biting like a blight.
Well, a dog too, right? It's
No.
not the same concept.
No, it's not the same concept.
Okay,
When
all
goat
right. Well, you've
walks to
taught
you,
me
you hadn't
something.
eat anything. It ain't growing anymore.
Oh, jeez.
But I sit down here. I say, wait. Mr. Weeks on vacation today. He ain't coming.
No.
I say, wait, let me finish. I say, wait. I listen some more. I say, wait, Jerry not in. Jerry not in. I say, good. This is looking good.
No.
Then I check Mario. I say, wait, Mario not in. I say, wow, that's 3 out of 3. I check Bing. Bing not in. That's 4. So I say, this is 4 to 4. So I'm the last guy, and I'm like 5. So I'm like, I off today.
Well, I guess the goat certainly did bite you. The goat certainly did
that's
bite
wrong.
you. But I think Mr. Weeks didn't join us because we are down on radio, and I think he listens to us on radio. So I don't know. He probably thought that we were off today. So that's what happened. And Jerry, doesn't call it on certain days. So that's
well, I need what am I certain days to not call?
You have none.
Yeah, that is just wrong. I have Fridays. Happy belated Father's Day, by the way, because not to you, but to the fathers out there, I didn't get to,
Flex, you're not a dad.
Yeah. He was he more aspirational?
Yes.
As far as I know, as I say.
But I was not on Friday. I heard you asking Mr. Weeks what's his favorite dad moment. Asking Jerry what's his favorite dad moment.
Yeah.
So I got left out of everything. But giving kudos to the fathers, shout out to the fathers.
Most definitely. How did you spend your Father's Day?
I visited my dad.
Oh, nice.
After church. Obviously church will go right up till 12, and then after that I went over with other siblings and visited with my dad for a bit. And so I tell you, he said, let's celebrate. He had some kind of little champagne thing, non-alcoholic, okay? And so he said, boy, knock some, and champagne glasses, everything. So knock some glasses together, and, because when you get to this stage of life, octogenarian practically, staring down 80, every day you get over 70. Is always something to celebrate.
It's a blessing.
And we love our dad, actually. He's a good man, set a good example. Really, really good example in provision, in caring, in connecting with his children, always there. That was just phenomenal, and it transferred over into all of his sons. So just spending time back with him at this stage of his life is always a wonderful thing to do, and it's good family. You see, stuff like this, I believe it really builds society. It builds a kind of fabric of society and relationships. Good, healthy stuff like this. And of course, while I'm there with my dad, my mom she always likes to link us. Every time we come there, you have to eat something. So she's like, son, take some of this, take some of that. She has my favorite meat already cooked and all of that waiting. So it was a good day. I never got home till in the early evening, I think. It was a good day yesterday.
I'm happy that you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I like, Daniel, I am a simple guy. I like the simple things in life, the wholesome things in life, things that make for a better life. I don't fight up myself too much. I told my daughter the other day, I said, the 3 things that really matter in life. Okay, you have life, you take care of your health, right? Take care of your health so that you're in good health. If you have health, that's one up. So if you have family that love you, I mean, they really love you and good friends along there. You don't need a whole heap, but you have some people who really, really love you. So you have an edge up there.
Quality over quantity.
Yeah, and then I said, you got God. And I said, when all else fails, God is your go-to. God is you have that kind of foundation that you could always cry to him, talk to him, share anything with him, and you know that he's there for you. So I said, you got God, you got family, and you got good health. You don't have to worry about much else in life. I mean, whether you have this opportunity, this job, that job. Because people have all of these things, but their health compromised, or they don't have real family and friends to care about them. Even in their latter stages of life, nobody is there to come talk with them, to love them, to care about them, because of the way they live their life. They're miserable. You might have accomplished the world. You might have had houses and cars and traveled everywhere and all that, but you're just miserable. And you can't even talk to God because you've never established a relationship with God, and so that he's out of your picture. The people are miserable. People have all of the things that you strive for in life, and they end up being so miserable, Daniel. I mean, when it comes right down to it, Rachel asked me, there you go, I promised not to say her name, but my daughter asked me, she asked me, and in saying that I totally lost what I was going to say. Yeah, she asked me something about money the other day, and I said, Rachel, money? I said, listen, if you have what people fighting up to get money to buy, money becomes irrelevant. The money is only really a means to get certain things, and sometimes the way you are blessed in life, or the way I am blessed in life, she's blessed in life, or the things that people fighting up to get, fighting up and striving hard to get the money to get. If you already have it, then you have to run down the money to get it. The money is not really wanted for the sake of having the money. The money is only wanted for the sake of what money can get. And if you already have a lot of basically what money can get, well, you stress yourself over money for. So, I had this kind of conversation. Then I'm a different kind of guy, I am guided by Luke chapter 12 and verse 15. That I actually believe in. I really believe it. It actually says life does not consist of the abundance of things, which always leaves me asking, what then, if it's not things? And I believe it's good health. I believe it's a relationship with God, and I believe it's a good relationship with people. So once you have those, I mean, you don't fight down things. People need to read Matthew chapter 6, from verse 25 right up to 33, that it says, you don't run after shelter, after clothing, after food, all of these things, because you must stress your life out chasing down things that really in the end you get them and you realize I was chasing a shadow. So you have to figure out what you're going to chase in life. So I chase after impact. I chase after legacy. I chase after influence with people. These are the things, boy, I tell you, when you get them, even after you're dead and gone, these things are monuments to your life. It's just, people, pick your medicine, pick what you want to run after in life, frankly speaking. And I just know, that's why I'm kind of content, because the Bible actually says, look, watch, be anxious over nothing. Fight down clothes, we're going to fight that down for. People run after the empty. Daniel, how did I get started here? Thank you for allowing me to rant, but I mean, I had a good day with my dad, and build good relationship with your children, and build good relationship with your parents and your family, and you're good to go. Because when all else fails in life, you still have those happy moments and the substance of life. Okay, enough.
Pastor, as you're on, just one question, as you're on that topic, what do you mean, being a dad, obviously, your daughter, she would listen to your counseling and she would listen to your guidance. If I could be so forward to ask you, what are some of the key things that you've told her should guide her decisions moving forward?
Well, I just shared some of those. I mean, it's not rocket science. It's easy stuff, right? And biblical, what we start with, to be honest with you, what we started with was a really good biblical foundation, because, again, I happen to believe that God is wise, and I happen to believe that, he is really sharp. I mean, he's just like, if he says it, that is it. So both she and I, we look to the Bible to see, what the values are, and there are a lot of values contained there. So I don't have to reinvent the wheel and teach her new things, teaching her about love and being patient and gentle. And she actually embodies all of these to a fault. Sometimes I say, you're too meek, because there's something I have to work on to meekness and all that. And but she's just got that lockdown. She's self, she believes, for example, in Philippians chapter 2:3-5, very well, where it says, "Put others above yourself." And I will get to her. I will say, "Girl, but you put in others above yourself every single time." So all of these things that we have taught her, which are good human qualities of putting others before yourself, about being meek and gentle and kind, and like I just said a while ago, don't get caught up in chasing material things, because I realized long time that is chasing a shadow, because when you get it, you realize, why did I chase this? And sometimes the chase tires you out. So I've tried to direct her in terms of the things that, she should chase. By the way, Daniel, I'm glad that you're asking me this, because I don't get to talk about these foundational things a lot.
But they are so important.
Yeah. So great values that she has, and those of you who know her know that I'm not just talking wind and talking off the top of my head, but her patience, her gentleness with people, and the way she handles situations. She would rather please others, go out of her way to be sure that others are okay and well pleased, and the way she relates to people. And these are things that I just, because they have been in me from the Bible, I just transfer them onto her, where she's working, even the matter of how she gives to God and all of that. I mean, she, to a fault, she practices all of these things. One of the key things that I do with her, and I'm trying to think if I miss a day. If I miss a day or two, they're not going to be too many. She's a grown woman, in case people are wondering. She's not a little, she's your age, actually. So, and every day, though, I talk with her. I mean, wherever she is on the face of this earth, I mean, she's not in St. Vincent. She goes from here to there to there. And, but I talk with her. She's got to check in, and if she can't check in with video phone, and she video call, and she will check in a voice call. So she messaged yesterday, and she put up how she loves her daddy, he's a hero and all that. She's just trying to break me down.
No. She's building you up. Building you up. That's what it is.
I'm just messing
That's so sweet.
I'm just, yeah. So it's the relationship. I mean, and once you build that relationship, because fathers are very, very important to their children, and especially for some reason they connect well with their daughters.
But Pastor, why do you think, I've heard a lot of males say that the father figure role is more important to be played to daughters?
Yes, from a psychological point of view, and I think last week, Thursday, I referenced, I didn't go into it, but Project 2020 Men, I think it is called, that puts out a lot of material on the role of a father, and the longitudinal studies over a long period of time show that, especially in the relationship with a girl, that the girls who have a really strong relationship with their father, they choose husbands well. They have healthy relationship with other men in their lives. They don't go out looking for love, because they know what a rare love, from a male looks like, and so they've watched their father. They know how a man is supposed to treat a woman, so they don't go out there and pick up what when I say hapsy scrapsy. They're different. Different. Not that God makes people hapsy scrapsy, so don't get me wrong, but people in the way they conduct their lives and their values and all of that get out on the periphery of what a man should be like. And so she kind of would pick men who are core, central, strong in values and all of that. If her father has been there as an axis and she's not hungry for love, there is something within a woman, again, from a psychological point of view, and this maybe people say this is the way God made woman, but women yearn for that male figure. I mean, this is just an amazing thing. In counseling, for example, I've seen men treat women all how, but the woman still go back and they will just do a lot. The woman still go back and they will do a lot for the men. I mean, why? Because women need men. It's like that need for men in their lives. So little teenage girls, for example, who feel this need beginning to develop, look for a man outside of, and begin to, see this kind of feeling. She has this need to have that companionship of a man. But when they're not receiving that kind of comfort, structure, steadiness at home, they are quick to pick it up outside wherever they can find it. But a girl, and I know how I raised my daughter, she has the luxury of being very, very, very selective in terms of how she chooses, a male. So that saves her now from a whole heap, just because she has had structure in her family with a good, strong male presence. That saves her from toxic male relationships, which is one of the, I said, you compare with other things, one of the best things that has happened in her life, because she is, spared that there's a correlation between, absence of males in the home and high teenage pregnancies. There's that correlation. Failure in school or low academic performance, there's that correlation between that within female and males and the absence of a father or stable male figure in the home. Juvenile incarceration, again, relates. Suicide rates, correlated. Drug use, correlated. All across the board, a lot of social ills correlated with the role of the father in the home, whether he's present or absent. And not just present as in physical. I once did a seminar on this, about fathers who are present but absent. Absent means participating, getting involved, help with the homework, help with little projects, do little dances with them, just hold them dance, pray with them, engage them, have long conversations with them. You'd be surprised how many homes have men who are present physically but absent when it is needed emotionally and financially and otherwise. Very, very absent. So I don't get tricked in thinking, well, a man is in the home and so that's all there needs. No, there's a whole lot more of being engaged and present in your children's life. Very present. You'd be surprised to know the city games I have played with my daughter. All of the Disney movies and princess things, and she wants me to dress up with her and all kind of sleep in the tent. We put a big tent in the room and sleep indoor camping and do all of that. We'll sit down and watch every single, whether it's Fox and the Land Before Time, Disney, Cinderella, and remember lines, Aladdin. It's just, we do all of these things together, because if you build that relationship early on, in times that it matters, she knows that my dad is my go-to guy. I can go to him and talk anything, whether it's silly or whatever it is, he's there. But I told somebody the other day, most important job I have in my life, I've done a lot of things, but most important job I have in my life is fatherhood, being a father. And I'm telling you, I am not going to fail at that.
Of course not.
And there's no point, Daniel, being successful as a businessman, successful as a banker, successful as a lawyer, successful as a taxi driver, successful as a cricketer or artist, successful in all of these things that don't really matter. And the one person who matters to you, your child, you're not as success as that. You're a failure. I told one guy so in counseling. I said, you and he's somebody. I said, you were very substantial in a lot of stuff. But when I look at you, I have to be frank, I look at your life, I say, the one area here you're failing in. And I said, if you succeed at everything else, but you fail here, at the end of the day, basically a failure. And I know that I'm telling you, Daniel, which is why I will take the time to check in every day. This fatherhood role is the most important role that I have. I am not going to fail at that. I am not. You follow me? And daughters need dads like that. Daughters need that. And I'm telling you, if you have fathers who are so sold out and committed to, playing this kind of role, we have a much better society. A lot of the issues we have with our girls and a lot of the issues we have with our women, we will circumvent these easily because we have, we have fathers who are really clearing the way for that, building a foundation for that. So part of the issue related to our social ills, and especially the fate of women in our society, is the role that men play, and particularly the role of fathers. At the end of the day, when this is all said and done and we start to give account for the ills of society, the culpability really falls on the doorstep of men who are dropping the ball and just failing big time. And I tried to be light on that message yesterday, being Father's Day.
Because I was going to come to that.
Well, we better come to it because we're going to be out of time.
What is it that is this something that you would have touched on yesterday? That's what I wanted to ask
I touched on, I don't be short here because we're out of time, but men and change, and because I see men as significant change agents, because traditionally men are leaders. Not that women can't lead, but especially in family things and relationship, women actually look to men to lead. And I said, men, you can't just, the 5 change stages I said men need to go through. I said, you can't just stay at intention. That's the first phase. You have to move, and the woman has to see you move from intention to resolution, and sometimes she will have to push you before you say, okay, I'm going to do it. Not just intend, but I'm going to do it. And even then, you have to go from resolution to the 3rd stage, which is action. So you have intention, no good. Resolution, no good. Action, kind of good. But what you say, well, Pastor, why kind of good? Action is what we want. No, because some men take action to get you off their back. The thing is to sustain the thing. I've counseled a lot and seen men take action, and the thing lasts as long as Miss Janie fire. From the time the woman shut her mouth, the action stopped. Yeah. So what you have to do is to sustain the action. So I talked about that yesterday, and complete whatever the woman, in the relationship, whatever you should be completing in the relationship as a man. Don't just intend and make resolution and act. Sustain the thing until you get it done. So I talked about that, and then I also talked about the difficulties that men face. Right. Because women don't, men hurt a lot, but because we put on this big show, brag and, we macho, we don't, a woman would cry, a woman would call up a girlfriend, a woman will scream and she will rant and get in a rage and throw things or whatever. Men just hide everything. So, and women out there, listen to me. I know not many are hearing today because, those who listen on radio are not hearing. But it is still true what I'm saying today, that men face stuff that they hurt them. So pay attention, women, that you don't, I think the major thing I said, women, don't belittle your man. Don't belittle him, all right? Because he's hurting, but he's not going to tell you. He's frustrated, but he's not going to tell you. So, woman, be careful how you interrupting him, even how you oppose him. Sometimes the very thing that he's trying to do for you, you're fighting him down. You think he's going to do this forever? So don't do that. Some of the rejection, the men take it really hard because we have ego. I said yesterday, men are 90% skin wrapped up in, men are 90% ego wrapped up in 10% skin. Men ego. So our egos, though we look so big and strong, our egos fragile. They get bruised easily. So you have to be careful now, woman, that you stroke the man right. Sometimes if you are rejecting him and betraying him and ridiculing him at home, he's gonna go out where he is not going to be subjected to these treatment. And most often that's going to be a domino shop somewhere where other guys are. Men don't really like to run this. Men find that the company of other men very, very safe. And so they kind of, if they're not, getting that kind of buffering up at home and, making him like a hero at home, they're going to go where they're going to shout up each other, slam dominoes, tobacco too, and then just feel like champions. Men go where they feel like champions. Sometimes in counseling, I find out the reason why. One guy told me, Pastor, when I finished work and thing, when I studied it out, I had to go home. He said, boy, I had to pass in somewhere and put in 2 just to face what I had to face with home. Because he said, when I go home, it's bam, 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 talk. Just chop. I actually said yesterday, if you keep chopping down the man, soon there will be nothing left. And he's not going to tell you that you're chopping him down. He's going to take the whining, the nagging, all of that. Most men, they're going to recede into a shell. And lastly, the last bit of comment I had was this. Women, be very careful when you win. Too very often you win an argument, you win the altercation, you win this, too often you win. And when you win, you lose. The more I find in counseling again, the more a woman feels like she's winning everything that goes on between she and the man, but she ain't know it. The more she wins, she's losing. But I have also found too that women just back off. Let him feel like a champion. Let him win. Let him win, because the more you lose, you're going to find out you win. Wow, we out of time.
Oh, man. Great. Some great advice and some great words there from you, Pastor. Flex is in here clapping. He is definitely loving everything that you said today.
Daniel, you have a way of getting me to go off. Whatever. You just good, all right?
Thank you so much, okay,
Right.
Pastor.
Take
And
care. Have a
we
good
do
day.
hope
All
that
right.
you continue to have a good day.
All right, take care.
All right,
Bye-bye.
thanks a lot.
Let's check in with the doc and look at things with a wider lens. Pastor Richards on OMG.